So let us begin our evening meditation by putting ourselves in the presence of the infinite invisible. Let us imagine that the body that sits with spine erect is in the presence of an infinite blazing sun that symbolizes a life giver. Let us put ourselves in the presence of this radiant light, and because it is all giving, it is also love. That means wherever its radiance goes, it removes any dark blemishes of selfishness or hatred or dislike or criticism. And as we feel this bathing ourselves, this human body, let us feel an equivalent fire within us, keeping our body temperature at a constant rate. Let us see if we can see the connection between our inner fire and the fire of our local system that we call the world of the solar, the sun's realm. Let's now make sure that the chest, the neck, and the head are arranged in a straight line. And just as the sun beams its goodness everywhere, let us also assert, may all things, may all beings, may all localities, may all movements be full of love, truth, beauty, goodness, and harmony, equally present everywhere. For convenience, this world is divided into 3 sections. This world, this observable universe, with its boundaries, reaching out as far as the eye can see, even with the help of sophisticated equipment. And those self-luminous bodies, millions and billions of them everywhere. And then the interspace between that acts as a kind of void. Space separates all these things. And in these 3 spaces, the observable universe, the self-luminous ones, and the vacuum in between, we spread our spirit of generosity and goodness, mentally repeating, may all beings be happy, may all beings be peaceful, may all beings be blissful. Let us feel the equivalence of these sentiments in 3 different sections of the body. In the area of the solar plexus, let us feel this radiating these same qualities. Then of the heart that radiates outwards, representing the highest sentiment of love that outweighs every other quality. And the forehead in between the eyebrows, let us feel the pulsation of light, representing knowledge and wisdom, without which this universe has no meaning. Let these three rays, as it were, converge into the heart. Let us mentally repeat the representational or verbal formula that we may have as a mantra. Let us repeat that mantra that our competent teacher, Guru, gave. In doing so, let us mentally salute our Guru as a kind of cosmic light. And as we repeat this and think about this, let us merge this Guru into that great reservoir that we call the infinite invisible. If you have not got a mantra, mentally repeat the sound symbol Om. We'll pause so that you have time to carefully and consciously, mindfully, in a meditative way, repeat this sound, this sacred symbol, this audio embodiment of a dear and chosen, beloved and perfect ideal. Let us feel tangibly the vibration of the sound reverberating throughout, exciting every single cell of the body to the tips of the fingernails. Let us feel this resonance as joy. Let us now turn our attention to the breathing. Let us join our mantra to the air as it flows in and out. Let us do it gently. Let us calm the breath, only equalizing it, so that we understand that the breath as divinity enters in, flows, and exits and joins the fullness of air around. It does not suspend the breath or labor it. Let's just make sure that we are mindful of its evenness. Let us now be aware of the mental field within us. A zone or area where thoughts and feelings come and go, largely uncontrolled. We will not try to exercise any control over these. Simply watching the activity is enough. You can see these impressions come as waves that have a beginning, a life, a peak, and an exit. Let us not judge, criticize. Let us allow their full freedom, but let us be mindful. In all likelihood, many of these waves arose during your day and are being replayed. Like a library full of impressions coming up, being reviewed. Let us review all of these, and as each one arises, let us present it to that divine That divine is formed around a chosen beloved concept, divinely given to us. Let us gaze upon the sacred face of this chosen ideal, feeling the qualities that emanate from this. And in return, we can offer loving offerings of all the impressions and activities that happen today. We won't judge whether they were good or bad, whether we were happy with them or unhappy with them. These are manifestations of divine energy that was used today and belong to the giver. Let us resolve that the following day we will do better. Let us review also the states of mind that took place during the day. Let us review the state of mind that we are witnessing in this present moment also. Let us understand that the very flow of energy that we call thought comes from a universal source of energy, supplied at this point of reference by a cosmic mind. Let us understand that in reviewing all these impressions, we ourselves are the non-moving, eternal witness, knower and thinker that is aware of all things bodily, of all things mentally, energetically. Let us sink down deeply into the various sheaths or layers of our own existence that we call body, that we call morphic, mental. Let us now visualize the cave of the heart. Let us contemplate the beams that seem to be of our inner fire. Just contemplate how fire itself can teach us many lessons. Fire soars upwards and lifts the thought of the spiritual aspirant ourselves far above the coarseness and the dross of this material earth and its concerns. Let us consider how fire purifies everything it touches and itself remains pure. Nothing can ever pollute fire. Just as fire is broad-based at the bottom, pointed at the top, all differences and diversities at lower levels become resolved into unity and universality at the very highest level, which is divinity. Let us consider how this fire is latent everywhere. It can easily be produced by striking one piece of stick or stone against another, or by taking a wooden splinter with a sulfur end and striking against an abrasive surface. Immediately you have a flame. Let us consider our inner fire as a sacrificial fire, and just as any fire, when sandalwood or incense is offered to it, it radiates its fragrance all around. Let us stoke our inner fire with pure thoughts of love and beauty, goodness and harmony, strength, freedom. And just as the different beams of fire, when brought close, merge into one another, in the same way, all the individual souls merge with one another to constitute this universal soul that is alive within you. The sun, which itself is a ball of fire, shines upon the good and the bad and the fair and the ugly, the pure and the impure, the clean and the dirty, and its all purifying light cleanses all dirt and stench and darkness. Let us inwardly assert, lead us from darkness to light. By ceaseless movement, the beams of fire remind us that activity is life, stagnation is death, and fire is impartial. It readily serves saint and sinner alike, and scorches both if they are carelessly handled. Let us consider this fire of the sun when one turns one's face to this, or when one looks at the fire on earth or within, this is only that immortal, infinite, invisible. Let us sink down deeply into it, not feeling now any separation, but only a oneness of being. Let us stand as the fire itself, as the flame, whose form is our most beloved face of God. Containing all the qualities of perfection, love that is infinite and has no bounds, life, that we feel as existence itself. And that light by which all things shine. And like the rays and warmth and radiance of fire, let us merge into the center, sacrificing our own small ego with purity of mind. Let us assert our true nature, this oneness without a second. Let us now feel how from this creative fire comes a crystallization of what we call mind and body. Let us see that from this universal fire emerges all the qualities that we deem to be contained within the highest perfection, for example, let us feel the motherliness of pure love. Let us feel that we are gazed on with undiluted pure love. Let us feel the joy contained in the divine smile. Let us feel the flowing grace and respond to it with a sense of gratitude, a sense of worship, a sense of completeness and fullness. Let us feel this radiating within us and outward, as it were, beyond the borders of human body and where we sit, radiating to all those around, radiating to every acquaintance in us, life, radiating beyond unseen infinite borders. Let us ask that we may never forget that entity. Let us ask that our minds be fully and always tuned into that it reflects in right thoughts, right words, and right deeds. And in this feeling of thankfulness, let us feel that point of bliss and that peace that passes all understanding. O adorable Lord of mercy and love, salutations and prostrations unto Thee. Thou art omnipresent, omniscient, and omnipotent. Thou art the indweller of all beings. Thou art existence, consciousness, and bliss absolute. Sat Chit Ananda. And grant us an understanding heart, equal vision, balanced mind, faith, devotion, and wisdom. Grant us the inner spiritual strength to resist temptation and control the mind. And free us from all our petty vices, fill our hearts with divine virtues. Let us behold Thee in all these names and forms. Let us serve Thee in all these names and forms. Let Thy name be ever on our lips and Thy presence be ever in our hearts. Let us abide in Thee forever and ever. Let us abide in Thee forever and ever. Let us radiate peace to all in this world, in the world of shining beings and the interspace. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace be unto all.